the idea that someone's waiting for the stream to start and then all they hear is "Ugh."
Of course he's waiting.
Well, that is quite possibly what they heard. So, welcome everybody to the Dumbass class as we stretch and prepare ourselves for today's episode. So tonight we are playing Toast to the God Emperor's Light, a Dark Heresy 2nd edition tabletop RPG game. Last time, our group of soon-to-be acolytes were on the ship, the rogue trader ship, the Fall of Sin. They were one day away from their destination, the planet of... That's not the right one. Why do I name my tabs? Never mind. Uranus marches... Oh, hang on, no, that's the cluster. No. We are on the planet of Scarus, in the Segmentum Obscurus sector, in the Calexis subsector, where our group are heading towards a feudal world to investigate rising hostilities between the Adeptus Administratum, I've got it written down here this time, and the Adeptus Astra Telepathica.
Wait, I thought it was ecclesiarchy and...
It is the ecclesiarchy, but in the book they're at the... Hang on.
Ecclesiarchy's the Munitorum.
Yeah, Munitorum,
Ministorum. Munitorum is the supply of the guard, I believe.
Yeah, the names are rather fucking annoying, I have to admit.
Munitorum is the ammo supply. Ministorum is the ecclesiarchy.
The spiritual
One of
supply.
those, we're pretty sure.
We'll get it eventually.
Or not. Big deal.
I mean, it's likely we will never will, but let's ignore that for now.
Why is this tree... Wait, is this... No, god damn it. Why does it never show me the live one? It always shows the oldest video, god damn it.
The group have a day to go over extra planning of how they want to get onto the world, what cover they're going to use. They have the rogue trader to ask for assistance if they should need anything, as long as it's within his power to give, that is.
Titan?
Sorry?
Could get a Titan.
No, we can't.
I don't think he has a spare.
Yeah, unfortunately he only has the one ship, so giving out a non-existent Titan is probably not going to happen.
If he were administratum, he would give it us on paper.
The group were given a data slate last time, which was disguised to look like a normal everyday data slate. Jenny would have known after using it for a mere moment that it was actually a master-crafted data slate in disguise. That has essentially their documents to say that these are Inquisition personnel. So trying to get information off of that data slate is going to be extremely difficult for any wannabe spies or anyone trying to tail the group. So, any thoughts about how you want to get onto the planet?
So right now, the current people we've got that actually be able to easily get on planet is...
Me? Maybe?
Well, you still need a reason for being on the world. Although I believe most of you have an in with your backgrounds, or a lot of you do. You will still need a reason.
Whatever was just said over the last
Yeah, he's lagging a
minute.
lot.
Is it me breaking up, or is it...
No, it's my computer's end.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure that was my internet.
No, my computer suddenly went, nope, had started freezing, so it's like this started talking while I was frozen, and I was trying to say something like, and it keeps trying to do it now again.
Computers.
Holy shit. So I convinced everyone to not go out into the cold because they hate the city by whipping them. Jesus, the game is dark.
As I said, snow cultists.
Maybe stop playing Frostpunk for the moment, Duke.
Okay, I'll put it on pause, don't worry.
But yeah, what are the ideas we've got?
Just to refresh my memory. What were we expecting to find on the planet again?
Yeah,
We don't know.
my mind's gone blank.
Pitchforks.
Oh, so we know
No.
nothing about... Oh, is it a
Couple
feudal
of
world,
people
sorry?
murdering each other. Ghost is going to join and murder both factions, or no way.
Oh.
That.
So I can give you I'll give you a quick rundown of what's happened. So you know that the planetary governor, Augustus Greywater, is basically a fat, lazy git who does pretty much nothing. He's had a few dealings with the Mechanicus for luxury goods to be brought into his possession. You know that Adeptus Astra Telepathica member Norvana was killed, and you know that Adeptus Administratum Roa was killed. She was believed to have been an ex-sate. She was said to have had a voice that only the God Emperor and the highest member of the ecclesiarchy were allowed to hear, for its perfect tones, and she was seen very highly, like a real, imagine a saint, perfect skin, perfect complexion, eyes stunningly look into your soul, and yes, she was killed. In both circumstances, they were female. In both circumstances, the each faction blamed the other. So the Telepathica blamed the Ministorum, the Ministorum that blamed the Telepathica. But the Ministorum has a much larger following. So once they got riled up, violence started breaking out and things were going wrong. And then they were told to, stop this stupid violence. It quietened down. Then another person died. The violence kicked up again. And they should know not to attack each other. This is why you're being sent in to investigate. If you find out that it is a member of the Telepathica or Administratum, you are to bring them in for questioning. You're to stop them from doing what they're doing. But you do have full use of force.
Ecclesiarchy.
Space Church.
So church or pen pushers?
So
Or
Space
Psychers.
Church.
It's the
Oh,
church or the Psychers.
Yeah, and you keep saying Administratum, which is why I'm confused.
Storum.
Just say Ecclesiarchy or Church. We all know what.
Just say Space Church. It's much easier.
Yes, Space Church.
We know what
Or-
you mean
or-
in character. It's just out of character. At least one of us will forget what you mean and then get tripped up by it.
Okay.
Please.
Worst. Scare people. Then you.
Sure. I'm not sure if we're losing connection from people, so I'm trying to.
I think we may
This-
be.
I'm
Yeah.
not lagging that much.
Discord's connection's not changing, but the actual Discord working, it keeps freezing.
I mean, my
okay.
connection graph looks like some sort of abstract geometrical painting right now. It's
I'm not
not
able
good.
to see mine, it's that bad.
Oh god.
I think other than Dylan, everybody is coming through fine for me.
So I was thinking it might be a dumb idea, but I'm not sure. My character's way in would be he's just sort of documenting the deaths and crimes because it's suddenly a big.
Have we said it was the last audit of the planet?
Yeah. Wait, the last audit.
Yes, the last order before we exterminate them like as they are.
Well, we just run in and we're like, hey guys, let's kill everyone.
Question: the planetary governor, does he have a nobility house that could potentially be coming to the planet to check up on his lack of management?
No, it's very much a feudal system, and in the records that you'd have access to, you can see that basically his ancestors beat the shit out of everyone else that led them to be the top of this world. And then they were brought back into the Imperium, and their families reigned supreme ever since. There have been uprisings, but nothing.
So his entire lineage is in the planet. There is nobody outside the planet then.
Yes, that's very true. Yes, very much the case.
Sounds to me like we have to approach it in Crusader King's mindset.
I don't think we
Is that
should
right?
kill his children and then seduce the wife and make her kill him. So
No. We ransom the children.
Also, what are
Why
you
would we
talking
ransom
about?
the
This is
children?
home.
Well, for you, maybe.
Anyway, so currently for people who we can have reasons for being on planet, we have Diogenes doing investigation into actually keeping the records of the death toll correct. Alexa going there for some training along with the locals, Adeptus Sororitas. Amanda Diogenes'
Is there
guard?
Is there a Sororitas chapter on the planet? Because I
There is a
honestly can't
sorority.
remember.
There is this world seems to produce mainly psychers and warriors. So because it has such a large ministorum center here with so many believers, there is sisters.
Okay, so there's specifically a militant chapter, right?
This is more a training area. This is where they're picking new recruits, taking them from the local inhabitants. So then it's not a full-on training world. It's a recruiting world. That's the word I'm looking
Okay.
for.
You send the good ones there so they look cool and everybody's like, I want to be like them, and joins. And it's where you send all the pretty girls.
I'm sure there's plenty of ugly Sororitas. But don't tell
Sure.
anyone that's heresy.
pretty sure that's against the rules.
Yeah.
Even the scars look nice. And even if there wasn't, I could pass myself off as Ministorum in everything but knowledge. Because I'm equally as devoted to the Emperor.
So you will need paperwork for that.
Thing is, if we go
I'm
with
going in
Luca's
as
idea,
Sororitas.
we might have a problem of accessibility.
How do we get the paperwork without Walter? Unless, the Rogue Trader offers.
Going in as rogue traders, I don't believe it would give us as much access either in this case, because it's an internal conflict.
You also going in as rogue traders, unless there's a trade, why would the hell would the rogue trader be interested with the situation on the planet?
Because
I
they
mean-
can.
Yeah,
This
but they don't
just said
actually
that
have that much power.
It's just said that this planet exports warriors and psychers and stuff like that. We could be just true trans weapon. Still, that doesn't give us access that we require.
I mean, the question is, why the hell would Ghost, Jenny, and Amanda be on the planet?
For me, it's always easy. I'm a soldier and be a bodyguard.
Wait, so I'd have to have pretty high up paperwork in order to make it seem like I'd actually need a bodyguard.
Well, no. You need to remember,
Or
guys.
what?
This is 40k. No one has freedom to just roam about anywhere unless you're Rogue Trader or Inquisition. So you need to have, the more of a backstory you have to your idea, the less my NPCs are going to need to question your story.
Also, even the lowliest clerk, he might have a bodyguard purely to stop him fudging the numbers.
For your question, yes, you could get the Rogue Trader to get you paperwork. It would not be to the same standards that Walter gave. Essentially, it would give you a plus 20 to a role that you would need to prove who you are.
We could always just flip a coin too and choose to be part of one of the two factions that are in conflict and inspect that faction thoroughly.
That's
so
what-
that way we would know for sure if that faction is the cause of the problem or if it's not the cause of the problem.
Well,
But it could be a third party moving, the strings in the darkness.
was saying that's why you'd send Alexa into the Sororitas. Then you got someone in the camp, someone who actually has right and reason to be there. She's Sororitas. Admittedly, then you got to fake why she's on the planet, but at least she's already Sororitas, so half the faking's already done. Also, because I think I probably cut out when you were telling what's going on. Were both people who died, like, with the Ministorum or Telepathica?
One of each.
Or just... Oh, okay.
But the Ministorum person was believed to be a saint. Like everyone, the leader of the Ministorum, Quintilius, wrote to Holy Terror to say that they had found a new saint and that she should be, people should be sent to verify it, and then she was murdered.
It was from where again?
This world.
Yeah,
No. Faction, sorry.
Ministorum.
Ministorum. We could go in as Ministorum and try to make ourselves targets so that we could capture whoever tries to kill us.
Alexa, once again, Sororitas, Ministorum.
Also, be right back. 1 second.
Anyone got any other suggestions? Because we've still got to figure out how we're getting Jenny on planet without people asking strange questions.
Mechanicus business?
It's a feudal world. What business are you gonna have?
Mechanic.
Attempt to uplift primitive civilization. Does it sound
So-
good?
Just again, you guys may have forgotten from last time. There are ores and there are crops that are grown and harvested on the world. It's just not a lot. So you would have that on the data slate of information. They have done ore testing on the world, but it was a very, 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 very long time ago.
Do they have mines?
Yes, but they are used by hand and pick. They're still used with basically brute force and lots of hands.
Damn, there goes one idea.
No, the only technology is the administratum building, which is also functions as the spaceport. So it's basically a massive bastion of imperial building, huge, gigantic building that overlooks basically every other building miles and miles. It's probably the largest building on the planet, and that deals with all the tithes basically of the world, all the trade, everything. And it's the only facility large enough and supported enough to house starships coming and going and doing trade.
I remember that for some reason I thought there might be chaos influence in this world.
Because the black ships have to visit regularly.
I don't remember if it was that.
Because this planet produces more psychers than normal.
Maybe. I don't remember.
I think it was also the psyker tithe had gone down.
Yes, it had.
So if we wanted to get Jenny on the planet as Mechanicus, it'd have to be she's helping with maintenance at the spaceport.
I mean, admittedly, there would be more questions asked, but I should point out the other places where technology would exist. There would be technology in the planetary governor's building. There would be technology in the Astra Telepathicus building and the Ministerum's building, and the Administratum's building. So there are cognite units, this sort of thing. So there are reasons for a tech priest to need to go to these areas. It's just the rest of the world. It's bleak for a Mechanicus. It's a lonely, lonely time.
It's a feudal world.
The world's smallest violin. Rip Mechanicus.
But I can tell you, so with the paperwork, so you can all, as long as you've got a decent backstory, a reason to be here and whatnot, you all have a +20 to anyone who asks, show me paperwork, or why are you here, or any reason like that, any question like that, you'll have a +20 to your roll, if it's a forgery. So if it's a fake and it's got to look like, Ministerum paper, and it's got to have all the filigree and everything, it's obviously going to be a forgery.
Would I be able to make my own forgery, or?
I think it's a trade skill.
Ah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I believe
think
it's a trade skill.
Yeah, I guess I don't have that. No.
I'd let you do it with a -20.
Wait, -20 on what?
It's
I
trade
think
skills
it's
or
intelligence.
Intelligence, yeah. Trade skills are intelligence.
Alright then. Let's have a crack.
This is gonna-
Yay!
What the hell?
Okay.
Wow.
So you, Dinogenes, as you're brainstorming with the rest of the group, you decide that you'll go and actually let the captain know that you'll need paperwork for your business. So you contact him and you actually ask him to bring you some paper, ink and quill. And he's a little bit, these are quite rare items in the Imperium, but he knows that you're Inquisition, so you find a very small pot of ink and an auto quill that he would like returned. But you do get 3 stacks. You get 3 pages of paper. And as the rest of the group begin talking, you begin doing the filigree that you know so well for your Administratum, aren't you?
Yeah, he's
What's the
Administratum.
So I would guess that you would do it as Administratum, and you'd do all the filigree and all the symbolised crap that goes onto the paper, it's like parchment, it's very official looking paperwork, and it's all very, you're basically measuring round the sides to make sure it's all, 10mm by 10mm lines, and it looks very fancy, and you fill in your reasoning for being there. And you sit back and you hold it up, and yeah, Yeah, that looks really good. You'll get what the rest of the team were going to get, which is a +20 on your test.
Okay.
But you have made the document yourself, so you can add that into your inventory if you wish. But you would
wait.
know.
What should I label it as?
You would know that it needs to have a name. So it's got your name on it or your alias, and you're going to this world in order to do this business. It's not something that you can use over and over and over again, but you could use it as like a copy. So that is the world that you're on. So it would be paperwork for this world, basically.
I gotta admit, it's actually quite hilarious to me on some level. He doesn't have any clue how to do any of the paperwork, still manages to make a really good copy of the paperwork.
Well, no. So as a member of the administratum, he would have done paperwork like this many times before, or had to at least seen documentation like this. But yeah, if you got the trade skill, you'd probably have got, well, you'd have had an extra 2 degrees, so it would have been a +40 to your deception.
Deception rolls, they're awesome.
I don't have deception though.
Deception, best deception.
Well, it just means you can effectively, for as long as only while you use those papers, you've got to take in perception, but only when it refers to the papers in particular. Whereas when it refers to papers with me, depending on who it is, I get a +20 or a +30. Hooray for Pia. So we've got Administratum going in to actually get proper sense made of the death toll, even though it's a tiny death toll except for the riots. Alexa possibly going in to effectively, as she's being retrained, or she's undergoing some training with the Adeptus Sororitas.
I would addend that. So you're not going in to get training. You're going in to look over the new trainees. You wouldn't, as a fully grown member, wouldn't come to this world. This is like a recruiting world for your order. So they're bringing in children, young kids, training them up through the teens, and then shipping them off to whatever, pursuits they're best at. So you could definitely come in as a
on a people's mission then.
Yeah, you could definitely come in as, someone looking over the new recruits and looking over the children and showing them, what they can be. But yeah, it'd definitely be for you to train them, not for you to train.
I mean, hey, depending on how I did the training, I'd just be training myself and they'd be having to deal with the side effects of being trained. Oops, I broke your arm. I'm not going to do that, though. I'm not that mean. Yeah, so we've got Alexa going in on her hearts and minds. Diogenes going in, keeping an eye on the death toll. Amanda going in as his bodyguard, maybe? And then we got Jenny and Ghost.
I suggest Jenny going to first attempt to either we send Jenny in to help with the few cogitators like a routine checkup, or send in Mechanicus to uplift primitive world, and I am
We do
bodyguard.
not uplift worlds.
We suppress them.
But do you not wish to teach them about glory of the Omnissiah or something?
It is not how it works.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they'll be more scared by the glories of the Omnissiah, as Jenny would refer to them.
But why would anyone be scared of mechanical body parts? They are amazing.
I'm referring more to, and then just generally looks around the gun cutter. whatever it was we got.
Yeah. Alright then. Can we hide mechanical stuff under robes or something?
Jenny only has her base Mechanicus augmentation,
Yep.
which most
have
of it is hidden under her robes anyway.
I mean, the most visible one are like the quote-unquote tattoos, but you know,
From far
they're
away, they look like
easily-
tattoos.
Yeah, to the uninitiated, they're easily mistaken for just that.
The stuff that you actually tend to get asked about, stuff if like you want those people with the giant potentia coils. But I assume, considering Jenny's not like ugly looking by basic things, it's like they're the small ones, like smaller the back. Instead of the I've got a generator the size of me on my spine.
I don't believe I have potential coils implanted actually.
No, you do. It's part of mechanics implants.
So I've always seen my Mechanicus as like how Jenny's character picture is, not the modern day models which are all hunched over and like fucked up looking. Because like when you look at the Mechanicus in the Dark Heresy books, they don't look, you know, when they're not completely augmented, they don't look too unhuman. I mean, don't get me wrong, they can look completely alien, but I think Jenny was going for the less augmented
Yeah.
look, weren't you?
Definitely.
So yeah, it'd be little things that could easily get hidden under robes. So theoretically, we do have the ability to send in more people as bodyguards.
I mean, and again, most of these people won't know what Mechanicus robes look like. I mean, the people in the know will, but normal population?
Just say she is fair lady and I am bodyguard. See? Does that work? I am not used to infiltrating without infiltrating. Right? Yeah.
Do you have a jump pack?
I do not. I would suggest if I could. Why everything have to be official? I could just kill the dudes, but I am not allowed to. Yes.
No, you are not.
We don't kill the innocent.
They are probably guilty of something. Fine. I won't kill them. Just how do I get on planet without killing, without sneaking, still getting my gear, and without raising suspicion?
You come with
How?
it. Simple.
How much do you know the Imperial Creed?
Burn the heretics.
That
Kill
one's
them
out.
with fire. What did you say?
I guess that one's out.
You can teach me. Like, I know prayers, but they are unconventional, I think.
Oh, good point. Good point. Can everyone roll me a 1d100 and you're looking for a 5%?
Oh, bloody hell. Do I need to roll this
No,
too?
actually, Jay, you don't need to.
Oh, God, I know what this is. Oh, fuck! Oh, no, of all people, Diogenes, fuck.
Diogenes.
Oh, God.
During the last, as Ghost says that to you, over the last week, 2 weeks, you've been sharing the gun cutter, and you know, I'm sure it was about a week ago. It was about a week, maybe 5 days. But you woke up in the middle of the night, like really needing a piss, and you remember hearing some strange noises coming from Ghost's
Do I need to
room.
read that?
You couldn't quite hear them, feels really odd.
I'd probably figure out it's something I don't want to be a part of, and then just try and ignore it.
Does he need to roll perception as
should-
well to hear it?
No, I'm gonna let him have that. There's something he can't hear what the words are. If he wants to
Okay.
investigate, then he will need to roll. But if he's just like,
Okay.
I hear noises coming from his room late at night, I don't care.
Not
I'm
the
just-
piggy man
Did-
then.
Do Diogenes hear a lot of grunting and panting coming from the first room?
No, it's not that kind of noise. It's
No,
What
there's
kind of
definitely
noise?
there's definitely a rhythm. There's definitely a rhythm to the sounds. It definitely sounds. It definitely sounds as if it's a chant, or it's a
Yes,
prayer
a
or a
chant, let's call
tone,
it
or
that.
it's definitely got that prayer-like sound to it. You just can't hear the words that he's saying or anything. You just hear the muffled.
I probably would be
Wow.
nosy if it was prayer. If I just heard noises and that's all my character had to go off, he'd
it
ignore it.
sounds like it's a prayer.
Okay then. If you roll me a awareness with a +10, because it's the dead of night, it's very quiet. There's only the hum of the machines around you from within the rogue trader ship, and they're very dulled down because obviously you're inside the gun cutter.
Wait, so do I get a plus? Sorry.
Yeah, a +10.
Oh.
He had 100.
Does this mean I'm fall through the door?
So as you hear the noise, you go to move in ever so slightly. You're like, what is that? And you move your foot and you don't realise that you're in a doorway. So as you swing your foot round, you stub your foot against a metal doorway. Give me a toughness test to see if you like shout out in "Ah, you mother," or if you can withstand the.
Oh, there's our pass.
You keep it. You hold on and just. Oh, you.
Do I hear anything? Or am I
As-
too busy with my...
You probably do hear a clunk.
Yeah, give me an awareness test. I'm not going to give you a +10 because you're in the middle of chanting, but you can do yours flat.
He'd probably get a bonus. I probably wouldn't be that quiet even if I did manage to like not shout
I
out.
rolled an 80, I'm not
He's
succeeding.
he's not succeeding.
He's too far. He's too within his chanting and perhaps meditation state during the chant. If you want to move closer, you can give me a stealth test, and then you can do another awareness.
Do I get a plus because you failed awareness or?
No, unfortunately, because for one, your character doesn't know he's failed. Yeah, he's failed.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ghost, if you could give me another awareness check with we'll say a +10. You are in the middle of your chant, and Ghost, you hear someone moving outside. Diogenes, you can give me your awareness check as you move closer, and you may catch a word, but it will be flat.
So flat awareness then.
Yeah.
Diogenes really needs to get awareness.
Unfortunately, you just try to listen, and it's almost as if the prayer or chanting has stopped. Ghost, you do know that
Do I
someone
need to roll
is
stealth
outside.
to approach?
If you want to get up and approach, then yes, you would need to roll stealth. Well, if you don't want to be heard, that is.
But yeah, he just wears everything.
So, Ghost, you silently stop. You stop your prayer. You silently stand from your seated position. Without a sound, you take a few steps towards your door and just listen. Donages, what would you do at this point? You can't hear the prayer going on. You can't hear anything at this moment. You do kind of, I will give it to you, you do kind of need a pee.
Why else would he be getting up in the middle of the night?
I'd probably just awkwardly stand there like, shit, what do I do now? I don't know, and then just sort of
For
stand
reactions,
there,
you
like,
pee yourself.
completely still. So yeah, I'd probably just stay there as still as possible.
Okay. Ghost, you don't hear any movement. Would you like to give me an awareness check? Now you can have a +10 as your senses are more alert now. You're no longer focusing on your hymns or whatever you were doing, your prayers. You Donages, do you want to give me a stealth check to see if you can slow your breathing down enough? So no, Ghost, you can definitely hear someone breathing outside in the hallway. Donages, what would your action be? Ghost, you definitely know there's someone out in the hallway who may or may not have heard what you were doing.
I'd honestly just sort of stay there, just like, I don't know if he knows yet or not, but I'm pretty much just listening out for like him getting into bed or continuing the prayer or something.
So Ghost, what do you do?
If I stop hearing anything,
You can still hear
I'll
someone.
look outside the door.
You can still hear someone breathing.
I'll stay still until I hear no more breathing. I will then look out the door, and if there's no one there, I will continue my prayer.
Okay, so you would still hear the breathing. You wait and you wait and you still hear the breathing, but it doesn't get closer. It doesn't seem to be moving at all, as far as you can hear. Would you still open the door to see who was there?
Yeah, at this point, I'm just like, I have had enough of this. Door opens.
You see Diogenes in the doorway between the bathroom.
I'm probably like still crouched a little bit, sort of like with both my hands up, like to either side of my head, and my head's like tilted to the right a bit, and I've just got a frozen expression on my face. Quite concerned.
Would I have my mask on?
That'd be up to you. This is late at night when I would presume you would do these sorts of things.
Would I have had the chance while getting up to put my mask on?
Quite possibly, if you feel that your character would put his mask on like a
He
ritual
would have done.
process and then do his prayer, then by all means, yeah.
No, his mask would be off for the prayer, but it would be on, if possible, if he was looking at the door.
Well, your stealth check was good enough that you could have got up off the floor, picked up your mask, and put it on.
He could have bought that with his stealth check.
You really could. So, and with Diogenes' lack of awareness, it's...
We need to declare, like, against us he automatically gets 3 degrees. Because otherwise he'll roll and none of us can ever beat him anyway.
You just see the blank mask just facing your direction, Diogenes. And then just go back into the room, the door closes.
I'll probably stay in the same position until the door closes, and then awkwardly stand up and just go finish what I was doing.
Your books it.
I'm not going to be cruel.
Now, flash forward back to where we were.
Wait, would he know it's me because it's the dark in the dark, or does this
I would imagine that
Turns his
the
light on.
light would have come in from behind him, so he would have seen
Ah.
out into the corridor.
Wait, does he have candles lit? I forgot.
I'm the one who would light the irregular fires on the ship, and I don't light them.
It would depend on how Ghost does it. I would imagine that Ghost just says a prayer coming from the world that he does. Candles would probably be a luxury.
He probably lit a boat on fire or something like that in his world.
A finger, something.
Yeah. No, fingers would take too long. That takes a while for it to stop burning.
Good point. Maybe a buttock.
And it would stink.
And?
So yes,
Fat, yes.
unless there was anything that Diogenes wanted to do or Ghost wanted to do, we will fast forward.
No, it'd probably just be like go toilet, go bed,
Wibbly,
We'll go
wibbly,
back.
wibbly, wibbly.
or go back to
Also-
reading at least.
Since I was away just long enough for me to not understand what was going on, what was Ghost doing? Was he just praying?
We don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, your characters don't know, and I need to keep your player characters not knowing
that's
either.
That's,
So
that's it's just that I mean, if he's just praying, he's just praying.
Wait, is this a an equivalent to Yinka being a spy?
It's
no,
pretty much.
it's equivalent to Yenka's teddy bear. Look at it that way. It's more of a character development thing.
I mean, I think the only other person up at the hour that Ghost ever does prayers probably went to bed like an hour before, having done her prayers.
To be honest with you, whoever had rolled within the 5% would have probably woken up because their bladder caused them to. It would have been one of those real chance scenarios. You know, that's why it's
Yeah.
5%.
The 1 in 100 chance.
Yeah.
100 times you accidentally walk into the room while he's doing the prayer.
Oh no, whilst he's wanking.
Oh god.
Anyway, moving on.
Information.
So we jump forwards in time to a day before the group are about to go on their merry journey. I believe
Okay.
you would have had. What I'll probably suggest is that Ghost, Jenny, and Amanda either go down with as bodyguards for each person, and you disguise Jenny, or you do have the option of going down as rogue trader personnel, and then your paperwork's guaranteed because it's from his ship. So how would you three like to go? Do you want to be split between the two different groups?
So do we split the party more, or do we avoid splitting the party more?
I think split twice is more than enough.
Okay then we'll have Diogenes go with Alexa, and we'll have Amanda, Ghost, go with Miss. Hang on, no, that's wrong. Because I need to split them up. So we'll go with, as long as you guys are happy with it, Jenny, Ghost, and Diogenes, and Amanda and Alexa.
Okay.
Well, I guess technically Amanda could pass herself off as sororitas, or at least be the. This is what someone who isn't sororitas looks like.
I mean, I'm a crusader, so I'm devout, just not as in the same way as a sororitas.
Or as extremely
You're not
as Alexa.
trained to be fanatical. You just are fanatical.
And then there's Alexa, who's both.
Okay, so you get your paperwork. Diogenes already has his, and we'll say that Jenny's been sent with Diogenes to ensure that the cognites are working properly, something along those lines. And Ghost is there because it is a world that's had a lot of rioting going on and upheaval. So unless there's anything else that you'd like to ask the captain, for example, we can fast forward to the day that you leave.
I mean,
I'm fine.
actually, I don't think there's anything I can ask the captain for.
I don't think, other than for paperwork and a robe again that I can wear over my clothing. Yeah, I think that's it for me.
I was going to say that I would offer any aid I could in making sure that at least the sororitas paperwork looks legit, because I probably have some sororitas paperwork.
I probably like awkwardly like pass Ghost in the hallway at some point, but that's probably about it.
So what I would probably recommend, Alexa, is at one point having a look and putting maybe a canonate, I believe that's like, or a sister superior or canoness, that's the one, or someone out of, just make up a name so that you can be like, oh yes, my canoness, she signed off, because you'd know who that is. So that would help in the forgery process.
Okay, I'm going to get the sister a battle name generator.
By all means, it's just something so that you can, if you're ever asked by an NPC, you can be like, oh yes, this canoness signed off on it, or just adds. It's in character knowledge that your character would know, but not necessarily yourself. So yeah, all your paperwork will get you through customs.
Got a canoness name.
Awesome.
I'll let Alexa do all the talking.
I can only do so much.
So as the day passes, you all have a decent meal sent to your ship. The Arbite, Agent Matthews. Yes, let's call him Agent Matthews. He comes to you and basically says goodbye. He's gonna head on to the next world that the rogue trader needs to go to, and he will carry on his duties there. And he, again, he apologises to Miss Amanda because she seems to still not like him. So he does I am sorry. But he bids you all farewell. Unless there was anything you wanted to ask him before he goes.
I'm going to ask
No,
him.
just don't thrust in my general direction ever again, please.
I'll have asked him for some advice on how to lie better in the future. Just because I'm have my character blamed being ill on why she did that. But advice still helps.
He would probably tell you that the details can sometimes get you caught up in the Imperium, because in the Imperium it's better to have a general lie that has a start, a middle and an end, rather than have the details, because the details can always get lost in you can always say the telepath missed out that bit, or
and also if he's like a massive exception to the rule, not like in a horrible sense, but like fairly high-ranking mutant Arbite. Is he the exception? Because I've never seen it before.
He would probably tell you that there's a lot of deep undercover agents like him that will never have their rank given. They're never. His rank in the field is one thing, but in society is completely different. He'd probably joke with you and say that it wouldn't surprise him if half of his cases were given to other higher, highborn nobles in the Arbeits division. But at the same time, you can look up his reports, his jobs in the future. So as he waves goodbye,
Amanda didn't shoot her. She passed the willpower check.
you don't shoot him in the back. Good girl.
I won't do that either.
He makes his way off of your ship and into the rogue trader's vessel. Your pilots tell you that they're ready to depart, that the ship has arrived. You have also been resupplied, so your ship has all the rations it needs. Your prisoner is still alive and well. He is tied upside down. Apparently it was the Arbeit's idea, so the pilots just let him be.
He occasionally gets flipped right side up just so he doesn't die from blood inside his brain. Not enough to get his bearings, but just enough he won't die from us leaving him upside down too long.
So you depart the ship, and as you fly down through the atmosphere of Sakaris, you would note that indeed the world is almost nothing. There's fields, greenery, yes, but practically no technology, or it's almost a barren landscape to those of you who have come from Forge worlds or Hive worlds. It's unfamiliar.
Forge worlds are not exactly lush either.
But then the pilot begins to bank, and you quickly see the Administratum building. Inside of, it's a small city with some larger houses, but for the majority are small huts. Wooden buildings, some brick, the more fancier buildings. You can see at least 3 buildings made of stone. You can see the planetary governor's mansion. You can see the Astra Telepathica's recruiting grounds and barracks, and the Ministorum, because it's Adeptus, that's why. Adeptus Ministorum's church, along with the training, the recruiting grounds next to it, all within this city, and these 3 buildings are the grandest. Until the truly biblical Administratum building comes into view. It is like a mountain in the surrounding territory. It has Gothic pillars and struts with sculptures of saints and the Emperor himself, a massive statue that stands on top of the building. Your pilots go do a full bank around the building before coming into their designated hangar bay. And as the ship comes in, it's a familiar sight, another docking bay like any other. You would note again, unlike the Hive world you went to, which had other ships dotted around and works going on, there's no other ships here. It is just your ship alone. And as you touch down, you can see out the windows as the doors open, guards enter, but these are more knights. They've been equipped with autoguns. They stand more in a parade guard formation. They don't have their weapons drawn and pointed at your ship, but it's clear that they do want to have everyone checked who's coming onto the world. You don't see any servitors coming out to refuel your ship or to do any of the maintenance. However, you do see some deckhands moving trolleys and checking to see if anything does need to be replaced or changed.
One small question. Since I'm going to the Systems of Battle thingy, I'm wearing the wrong clothing, aren't I?
Yep.
So
I
you don't
guess if
have to go as a sister of battle. You don't have to go as a Sarita in this incident. You can go as a member of your, because remember, at least your two organisations do work together. There are times when the army and the Sisters of Battle do fight side by side quite happily.
that is
And there are times when they fight against each other
Yeah,
even more happily.
the excuse for you coming along is to show off the skills of those we work alongside. Like, to show, even no matter how good you are as a sororitas, we have backup. They're not as devoted as we are, but they're good. But we're better,
Well,
though.
I won't worry about my clothing then.
If you're that worried, there's probably enough stuff that you can at least, while you won't look the part, you won't be stupidly out of place. This horrific trespasser.
And I believe you did buy a robe. On
Yeah, I got
the
a
road
robe.
where you had to go into the underhive. So
Yeah, I think we bought what was effectively armorless Imperial robes. So I'm just putting them as disguise robes.
I am wearing my robes every time I leave this ship because, I mean, although it's clear that I'm wearing armor, I'd rather people not see as much.
well, it's one of those dumb things where I don't think in any part of character creation does it say that you get clothes.
No,
It's
technically,
just
you have
assumed.
clothing as extra.
Well, it's just one of those things that's assumed that when you come from your old background, you have the garb of the old background, including like the boxers, the socks, but you can get other clothing. It's just it's never really done.
And here I thought that the underwear with French lilies was only like on loads. Then again, the Imperium would do something like that.
So you all disembark. I would guess you can go out however you wish. But the
I love
guards
the part.
direct you. The guards will direct you. They don't seem to do it in a threatening way. They're just like when they see people getting off, one of them steps forwards and new personnel or people with business on our world, step this way, please. May the Emperor protect.
And the Emperor protect, and I will at least give them the sign of the Aquila.
Venerate the
I look
Messiah.
the part of the sororitas.
Yes, I'm going in as a liaison then. I'll just, salute.
I mean, there's also personnel that they don't want. You know, the sisters are like, well, she's good, but she's not really sister battle worthy. So, the guard can have her. I don't actually know if that happens or not. That's
It
The
is-
thing is, I don't think that would happen a lot, especially since I'm a crusader. I fight demons.
No, but
Even
they
though I
don't know that. I'm just quickly
Yeah.
trying to.
so you
I'll
make
just-
your way through the assigned areas. You aren't trying to come here as personnel to work. Oh, actually, no. Some of you are going. Actually, all of you are going through for work. So you all walk through the work side, and you filter on down. Your two groups are separated, and you would each come up to an area where your paperwork is handed over. You are, each group would have their paperwork looked at. Holy! I just got the same number twice in a row. That's.
And I was gonna say, I'm guessing it gets through our paperwork if it's that good.
Well, I got 29 each time, so I'm like, how in the blue balls did?
Well, we're rumbled.
So as they look at your paperwork, they begin
smug look.
reading through, and you are all given the green light to go through. Your stories make sense. Your paperwork is in order. So you were let onto the world. You make your way through, and sure enough, you're met with the typical administratum building. It's, if you've ever been in an administratum building, they are all exactly the same. Diogenes, you feel extremely comfortable walking down these halls. You almost don't even need to look at the signs, as you know which way to walk. The rest of you have to look at the signage around you, but before long you enter the lobby and you have the option to exit the building. You do hear shouting coming from outside.
Well, considering Alexa's gonna have to go outside anyway to go to the sororitas building, she's probably gonna go see what's going on with that.
Yep, I'll follow.
Well, Amanda, let's go. We're going to see our work.
Okay then.
Are you all going outside?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Apologies, I probably should have shown this when I was describing the world, but I was looking at other stuff and trying to get names right. So this is the building on the map that you actually walk out of, and as you can see, the other little houses around. You step out of this extremely grand building, and you see that in the surrounding area has been stoned. The path. It's not quite a marble, but a granite of some sort, so a very hard stone. Flagstones have been placed on the floor. You walk out and you hear the sounds of shouting of a mob. You begin to make your way down the flagstoned path, and all the houses around here do seem quite fine for their small stature and clearly primitive design. Before long you find a mob. They're shouting out. You can hear someone shouting above them though. Someone shouting of the faith, of the Emperor's hatred for the demon, the psyker, the traitor, the heretic. You hear a muffled sound of a woman shouting, but she can't quite be heard through the gag in her mouth. You make your way, quickening your pace. Going through the crowd, they're not quite packed in here, they're still dispersed enough that you can make your way to the front. There are some around who seem to curse the people who are doing this. It's wrong. The Emperor was a psyker. He wouldn't want this. All the way through the crowd, only a few voices of disdain can be heard. Most agree with the fact that a witch should always be burnt. As you see a pyre and people gathered round, a preacher stands up, shouting, "The God Emperor would not let us have these heathens here. They bring demons and disgrace to our world."
I'm going to, using my vocal implant, and that the Emperor lets them live. I've just arrived at this planet, and yes, I know, killing the unarmed is wrong.
I'm not gonna get involved.
Takes
Although I
3
think
steps
this is
to the left.
barbaric, I'm just gonna let her burn. I'm supposed to be inconspicuous.
I'm just
I
gonna
cannot be inconspicuous, I'm sororitas.
I'm just gonna look at Alexa, and I'm gonna look Hector deep in the empty eye sockets, and I'm just zealots, eh, Hector? I
Doesn't
assume I
matter.
get an agreeable.
Did I get my stomach?
You will do soonish. As the preacher hears this booming voice fast exceed his own, he looks through the crowd at where the voice comes from. You should know better. If she were to be pure, then the Emperor would know his own. As he throws some sort of fire starter behind him, as soon as it touches the pyre, it ignites. But there is another voice that comes from behind you. Hang on, I should find out. What was his name again? I've got it here.
I am going to look at Alexa and just go like, do you want me to scare this man?
Keep in mind that I'm pretty sure Alexa and Amanda split off from you because we're going to the sororities building.
Oh, I thought we were all outside together now. Okay.
If we have, then it's still like, we're two separate groups at the moment, the party's split.
Okay. Okay, in that case, I'm not gonna ask for permission, and I'm gonna slowly just wade through the crowd forward.
A voice comes over, nowhere near as loud as Alexa's, but it comes from behind you. "Quintilius, stop this madness at once. We have been given orders from Holy Terror. Marcus, put an end to this nonsense." You see a man step forwards, and he puts out his hand and focuses, and you see the fires that were licking the woman's legs and begin to singe her dress die down until there's nothing. "We were given orders from Holy Terror. We were to put aside our futile fighting for the good of the I nearly said the Omnicide then. Fuck. For the good of the
Praise be upon the machine god.
for the good of the God Emperor."
You're looking at his empire.
Fucking hell! I
could have shouted
like the
for the good of
Mechanicus too
corn.
much.
Dude, if you shout for the good of corn, you're swapping places with that chick.
At the moment you said, if that name had been said, it'd have literally been, "Who the hell are you worshipping?"
Yeah, the telepathic members behind you wouldn't have been too kind to that either. "You took our saint! You took the light from this planet's heart, and we will seek retribution!" You see the crowd. Yeah, she was our saint! She would have brought us up!
Why would a saint wish for death? You belittle her memory by wishing to kill those that you blame. It does not matter who they are. If she were a saint, she would forgive them, and so should you. I'm louder than the entire crowd put together, by the way.
Yeah, out of character, Imperium isn't really big on forgiveness.
In this case, yes. They're supposed to be working together.
Also, they're saints. Saint Drusus,
Yeah.
warrior. Saint Celestine,
She's a
warrior.
saint of the people here.
There are
I am
other
still
saints
just
who
slowly
aren't
wading
warriors.
forward through the crowd.
Yeah, I'm referring. As far as I know, she's a saint of the people, and a saint of the people forgives those the emperor protects.
You know, if the Psychers put out the fire, I am going to approach the pyre and attempt to, remove
Also, I would note-
supposed witch from the pyre.
Okay. So
Oh,
Ghost.
God, that's an interest we shouldn't be having.
Ghost and Jenny, can you give me agility tests for moving through the crowd? On the outskirts, it's pretty. You can. It's like a festival. You can get through, but on the inner circle, this is like their devotees. This is like the church's fanatics who, as you both get into this inner circle, you can't squeeze through. You don't see a gap, and you just see people who have now turned round. They're now facing you. These are fanatics. You look at these people, and they've got tattoos of the Municitorum's site. Complete mentalists, and they're looking with just hatred towards at the Telepathica members.
Oh, this is how fights break out. Lovely.
Hey, there's a thing that's gonna get in a hell of a lot of trouble if they break a fight.
Galliac, you may be bonded with the Emperor, but that does not mean you speak for him. We have nothing here. And yet she brought us up. She lit the life within us. One of your people took that. Quintilius, why? Think reasonably, man. I know you're a fanatic, but still, why would we, members of the Adeptus Telepathica, want to go against what Holy Terror has said? Why would we go against you?
A scrutiny.
Sure.
I fate.
Sure. Sorry, you did all get a fate refresh whilst you were travelling. I can't remember if I said last time.
Yeah, you said last time.
This.
Yes.
You're gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna be a dick because Jenny really doesn't like blind fanaticism. I'm just going to draw my hand cannon and fire a round into the sky.
I was.
Oh
You
no!
do know I'm single-handed.
No!
I was just gonna say, if
Hang on,
anybody's from a high,
Into the
Escalation, dude.
he's shooting them
Okay,
into the
hang
air.
on. So
Yeah, the attention people.
you're shooting into the air. I heard you say you were going to shoot at him.
No, into the air.
Okay.
He said the sky, but the problem is, the sky and the guy
Almost
sounds
sounds
alike.
like this.
Yeah, I was like, right. I should probably show the map so that he can actually see how many fanatics are surrounding.
I was also gonna say,
Here's the problem. People that can't see you firing up will only hear the shot and will panic, and panic is way worse, so escalation is probably
late.
the worst thing you're gonna do.
Jenny doesn't
He's-
know
yeah.
shit about crowd control.
I was just gonna say that if anyone's from a hive world, they ignore crowds.
Okay, so
Oh yeah, Ghost ignores crowds.
I'm from a death world, so.
Oh no, never mind. I thought you were Hive World.
So, as Jenny pulls her hand cannon out, you see some of the fanatics go to, grab hold of their weapons. And as they see you raise your weapon up in the air, you see that some of them have drawn their weapons. The ones in the second row from you, they've already drawn their weapons because they know, no one can see them draw their weapons. But the front row, they've all got their hands ready, and they see you raise your hand cannon in the air. You fire a shot.
And I feel the kick because I fired it one-handed.
You can fire it two-handed. You can then raise the other hand up to.
I'm just gonna fire it one-handed. It's cool. It's not
Give me
like
the
I'm
badass
trying to
test.
hit
Give me a
anything in
toughness.
particular.
Give me a toughness test. Just to see. I mean, even a fail, it's just going to have your hand go backwards. Yeah, so as you fire, you really hurt your shoulder. It kicks back and your hand... you think to yourself that if you could critically failed that, You may have dislocated your shoulder. A note,
It's
a
fine,
note to
I'm a
remember.
Medicaid. I can fix myself.
But you don't. It just really hurt. There is a booming shot, and you see all the people within the inner circle. They just can't. It almost looks like they're taking up a militia stance, not truly trained, because you look about and they are mainly men, but they are definitely taking up some sort of a stance. The people behind you kind of break out and begin moving further backwards, thinking that this may escalate further than just words. The show has clearly stopped, if you understand. And the bystanders are like, "Oh fuck no!"
This is getting too serious for me.
And a lot of them seem to be quite shocked that you would fire a gun, waste a round on such a thing.
Oh god, the problem is I can already see the panic in people running and traveling over other people shouting and screaming and then fighting, starting and rioting.
You know, I'm nearly as loud as a gunshot, by the way.
There is
You're
definitely
speaking.
there's definitely for those of you who didn't move further in, there's definitely a sense of panic further out. But as the people kind of look around, they have two figureheads of state essentially there, who neither of them look as if they're panicking. You do note that the Ministorum, Quintilius, touches a symbol of the Ministorum that hangs around his neck, and Galliac, he brings his hands up and begins scanning the crowd. Jenny, you do have red robes on, don't you?
Yes, I have Mechanicus robes on.
Okay, he spots you very quickly. He sees the flash of red. They both do.
He probably also sees my floating skull.
I wasn't going to mention that, but sure. Yeah, they see this.
How does crowd react to Hector?
There were gasps. There were and making signs of the Ministorum and the God Emperor, and making, like, some people even got down and began to make the Aquila and just not look at the device, and there were definitely shocked people there. However, you are in the central plaza, let's say, of this city, so there are a lot of people who have seen this kind of thing before, but once, and they're more looking at it in amazement, like, my granddad told me about something like that. He saw one, and so it's not all complete shock and like fear, but there are definitely people in the crowd who are just like, oh my.
Has anyone noticed ghosts sneaking further and further forward towards the priest, by the way?
No one's seen you, but you would find the same, that there's an inner circle of people that are just a human wall that you just cannot get through of basically fanatics. They basically do a 30 foot or 30 meter. I can't remember how we do it on what is measured in foot. There's basically a 30-foot ring where the whole thing's going on, and there's about 4 people deep in a 30-foot diameter around the pyre and the little staging platform that's there.
Okay.
So you can't get in to him. They're clearly protecting him.
Calm yourselves. I do not wish for a war and for blood to be spilt on these streets.
Quintilius, she's right. Let this go, and I will not inform Holy Terror of this slight against us.
Just stood there writing down every word, by the way.
Sure. You're sat at the edge of the crowd, just typing away furiously on your data slate. calm the people down. This is not our doing. You have my word on this. There are mumbles in the inner circle, which Jenny and Ghost would hear. He's lying. Why would he care? He doesn't. He just wants this place for himself. People, remember. Novara was a healer. She treated your wounds and came out here of her own accord to try and help you and make your lives easier. This is not our doing. So please calm yourselves. Or do you want more bloodshed, Quintilius? Between brother and son, mother and daughter. As you look at Quintilius, there's a very dour look over him, as if this, you almost get the feeling that this is a man of act now, think later. And hearing these voices of dissent is now making him think about his actions. Galliok, keep your witches, your psychers, on a tight leash. We will... Wrong accent. We will not have them bringing demons and monsters into our lives. One more, and there will be bloodshed. Come, my flocks, my flock. It is almost time for afternoon prayers.
I'm going to scrutiny him.
Sure. We should head...
Nope.
We should head to the cathedral and pray that the God Emperor's strength may be brought down upon us in these sad times. The fanatics you would hear, Jenny and Ghost, they're disgruntled. There's a few of them who are very much, you can see the ones in the second and third rows who had their weapons out and were almost baying for blood. But after a few moments you do see, as you look into the crowd, weapons being put away, and a calm does seem to come over the crowd as Ghost and Jenny, were you trying to get to the woman to untie her from her the stake, the pile?
I wasn't trying to get to the woman. I was trying to get to the preacher.
Okay. Jenny, I believe you said you were.
Yes, and I would like, if she's not too much like, ugh, I would try and render medical attention.
Okay. Do you put your
By the
weapon
way,
away?
if it would become very obvious that I could just not sneak up on the preacher, I would have stopped going towards him.
Yeah, no. There's that 30-foot ring of just people who are just basically his defense, his fanatics, who would not let you get any closer. But you could stand there and still, check the crowd and see if there's an opening to do something.
And as they start moving away, I'm gonna go and tie up his. It's gonna look good for her when a sororitas takes her off the pyre. The sororitas is advocating forgiveness.
Jenny's the closest, and she went to do it. So, like Jenny, did you put your weapon away, or is that still?
Most definitely, no. I would put the hand cannon away.
Okay, and were you making like, I'm a medicus, let me treat her?
Definitely. I would communicate my intent of rendering medical assistance.
Okay, so as Quintilius tells his people that they should go back to their prayers, I'm medicate, get out of the way, and they begin to part, and they allow you to enter the inner circle and go up to the pyre and treat the woman. Alexa, you see this is your opportunity to start moving forwards. You make your way through a very Spartan crowd now after the gunshot and being told basically to leave. It's very, very Spartan until you get up to that central ring, where they're watching as their minister basically gets off of his pew, and they very quickly. It's kind of odd when you watch him. He moves along, and a circle of people kind of continues around him, but more close in, like his inner circle begin to come in. And yes, you're quite right, Father Quintilius. We should go and pray to the God Emperor to seek for salvation in these hard times. And it appears he has a lot of yes men. If you wanted to try and say something to him, Alexa.
Oh god, that is a terrible roll, even with 99 limit.
So as you look, because we'll call this a Medicaid look, because you haven't really diagnosed it yet.
I'm sorry then, because I rolled with intelligence. Then give me a second. I rolled with perception.
Well, unless your target's 99, it's not going to make. You look at her, and you can see that the flames on her clothes, for example, like where the flames have licked her clothing, it doesn't appear to have melted and begun sticking to her. But you don't know what's underneath, how her legs are, and you very quickly try and, Miss, can I see your legs? Trying to medicate and see areas that you can't see, because you have failed. You fucked up. She looks down at you and.
I didn't fail.
Well,
Neither
no.
of those were a failure.
Oh, what? Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Target 9. I thought you rolled a. Wow, you're already a target 99. Bloody hell. Okay.
Yeah, that is on intelligence with my superior chirurgeon bonus and the Hector.
And Hector. I see. So, yeah, with your looking at her clothes don't seem to be that burnt. You very quickly look and see that the fire didn't build up enough to actually cause her any damage. It was stopped in time. And she looks down at you and, Medicaid, I'm quite fine. Can you please cut my bonds?
Out of character, I assumed I started by taking her off the pyre.
Oh, you should have
You never
no.
said that you cut her bonds, so I was thinking you're going to look to see are the clothes stuck to her body. If they are, then you've got a really bad case of don't touch her clothes. You could rip the skin off, and so you're kind of looking up at her to.
Yeah,
to
it's
check
like
the-
Yeah, no, my intent was start with like freeing her and then do
it's
them.
strange if it's actually medicine 101. If someone's stuck to something, don't cut them down unless you know it's safe to.
True.
cut them down, they
True.
fall.
If I'm nearby, can I help as well? Because I know a little bit of Medicaid.
You are on the outside of where the crowd was. You were taking notes and writing things down. The crowd has dispersed massively, so you can begin moving towards.
Also, as I walk through the crowd, do they split around me? Just because I'm.
No, they do. You do see some people who make the sign of the Aquila to you, and some people give you a bow. Like as you look at them, they look like lower class people, but you do see some higher class citizens who just give you a curt nod. There are, of course, some who are completely fearful and.
To those who offer me respect, I offer them respect back. It'll likely delay me. And to those who just give me a curt nod, I'm going to give them a curt nod.
I'm gonna cut her bonds free because she doesn't look like she's gonna die if I do that. So no, it's fine.
Yeah, so you cut her bonds and you help her down off of the pyre, and she does raise one of her feet up, and you can see that she has got some burns on her foot, and you call Hector over and get out some gels and administer the gel coat to soothe the burns. She thanks you, and it's thank you very much, Tech Priest. It's odd to see one of your kind out here, but for another time. Could you help me to my... And she gestures over to the other telepathica members, some of whom are making their way over to her.
But of course.
She leans on your shoulder as she kind of hops over towards the Telepathica members. Alexa, this is about the time that you finish, getting through the crowd and can give her aid if you wish.
You okay? Would you like some assistance? I apologise for the more closed-minded. Did not realise it would be so bad here when I was assigned.
Thank you. Yes, another shoulder to lean on would be helpful. My comrades can help me from there, I'm sure. As you very quickly, they were walking towards her.
But yeah, I'll help her.
Oh bollocks! I didn't give her a name. Oh well.
She's just gonna have to be the nameless witch that almost got burned.
I mean, she was
Okay.
literally Joanna of Arc.
Jennifer.
Nearly.
Yeah, Jennifer. I'm sorry. How did this happen? I'm sorry. They got me when I went to get supplies. There was something. The merchants were scared. They said that something was taking people, but it's nonsense. I thought it was nonsense. Next thing I know, I was jumped, and then they were asking me questions about what happened. I don't know anything. I know. Don't. This is madness. My deepest thanks to you for intervening and aiding my comrade here. He puts his hand out to shake yours, Alexa and Jennifer.
Is that blind?
He is indeed.
I was just curious because of the comment about everything.
Being bound, yeah.
And while I don't know what it means, I do know. I do have the basics of blind, psycho, bound to emperor.
He does have
He is holy.
He does have a wrap that goes over his eyes. He hasn't just got milky eyes and looking out.
Could have cyber
It's a
eyes
pleasure
like
to-
me.
Nope, doesn't work for Astropaths. Their optic nerves
Actually,
don't
it
work.
does. It actually does. Or
Just
say
have a
it
small
does,
question.
but very rarely do they do so.
Anyway.
And nowhere in the book it says that you can't get cyber eyes as astropath.
Is Ghost? Am I correct to assume that Ghost is nowhere near the pyre right now?
No,
You are
Ghost was
correct to
near the.
assume that.
Yeah, because I wouldn't go near it either. I would just stay a little bit farther away.
Anyway, I'll shake his hands. It's my pleasure. I just wish that whatever they were doing, it wasn't as bad as it seems to be. What's going on that things are causing so much trouble?
We have a serial murder. Well, we have a serial murderer somewhere in this city. That is the only explanation I have.
Oh, that microbeats up. I want to hear this.
That would be up to them if they have their microbeads on.
Mine would be on, but right now I would be speaking to what you call her, Jennifer.
Mine wouldn't actually be automatically broadcasting because I would deafen everybody who uses my microbead and blow out the speakers. I can make myself as loud as I can literally turn myself into a loud hailer. If I happen to use the microbead with that on by accident, you're deaf now. It's the equivalent of like screaming down your microphone on Xbox Live.
As a 12-year-old.
Yes. Like that's the volume I can hit.
Miss, it goes without saying, but I would recommend you a few days of bed rest to let the skin heal.
Well, she'll have to do her preparations and her psychic strengthening techniques and to reinforce herself. But I agree, Kairurgeon, that she should be allowed to rest. One of the pyromancer, Nikhail, he steps forwards and he actually picks Jennifer up, princess style. He's quite a big man and he just picks her up and...
He's not using telekinesis? Lame.
No, unfortunately he's not.
Why wouldn't you
Yes,
try to roll for perils in a public situation?
Because he's a man and she's a woman.
He's
Jennifer,
doing
I shall take
Psycho
you.
wrong.
I shall take you back to the facility. It would be best if we not hang around here. Yes. Thank you both. It was a pleasure to meet you, and thank you for the aid. Yes, thank you for helping my comrade. It is most kind of you.
It's merely my duty as a servant of the Emperor to help the misguided. And they are definitely the misguided.
I'll just chime in there and say, well,
Are you near us?
I assume I would be.
Technically, he walked towards where the pyre was to see the woman, but then she walked towards him, and then the leader of the Telepathica has basically come and joined you guys in the middle. So he would be within ears reach of this of this conversation, except from Ghost. Ghost is the only. Ghost and Amanda are the only two characters I don't know where they are. But then I don't have a map for this. It's just in the mind.
Since I was there, I was supposed to be near Alexa. I'll be near Alexa, but a little bit far away, like.
She's in the crowd.
Most of the crowd has dispersed now. It's more like think a medieval courtyard in a medieval city. There's a big opening where there are traders, stalls, and fancy houses, and it's the people are very much dispersed now. The streets are almost quiet, but you still see the occasional person going by.
It's pretty clear that I'm watching the people meeting up in the center, but I'm a little farther away.
Okay. And Ghost, are you still in the vicinity?
Yes.
So I'll just chime in and say I have exact quotes for the majority of that conversation in events, and then I'll just sort of like hold up my expensive ass data slate.
He looks at you in your robes, and he doesn't question it too much because of your robes, basically, and the fact that you're right outside the administratum's building. It's administrorum's.
It's Administratum. We came in from spaceport.
Yeah.
Administrorum's where I'm going.
Yes. So it makes sense that someone might have come outside from there, and of course they'd take notes. Yes, I would rather you not hand that in to anyone in authority. Let us try and keep this incident as is an incident. I would rather not see repercussions for this, even if it's deserved on their side. Again, thank you all. I'm not quite sure why you would get involved in this, but your aid is greatly appreciated.
I cannot bring myself to stand by while the innocent burn, even if it is my place to burn those who are not innocent.
Yes, well, unfortunately, this world has had its incidents, but that is why we are here, to put a stop to them. If only everyone would see that, perhaps we would all get along better. but for now I will leave you all. I should tend to my people. He makes a sign of the Aquila to you all, and makes his way back towards his compound.
Amanda, we go. This is leaving a
No.
bad taste in my mouth.
Well, look on the bright side. So our subtlety is already out the window, so what could go worse? I'll follow you. Start following Alexa.
She looks at you kind of a, what the hell are you talking about? And if you actually try and scrutiny her, it's, what the hell are you talking about?
I am not gonna scrutiny you. I'm just saying, what could go wrong? I'm just gonna follow you.
Technically speaking, Alexa's still being subtle. Maybe not for a subtlety rating, but she's being subtle.
I am going to follow. Actually, no, I'm not gonna follow them. I'm gonna follow Diogenes' shit again. And I'm gonna ask if the woman said anything interesting to Jenny.
One of my plans for character advancement was just buried.
Yep.
Oh well. So what now?
I'll just sort of. Is the guy still here that was just speaking to us, by the way? Or...
No, he's left. You've it's essentially you guys in your groups scattered about. Some of you are together, some of you are spread out a bit more, and a few people from the world who are pottering about their business.
I'll just sort of say, well, now I guess hand this into authorities, or as I hold up my data slate.
Did the lady say anything interesting?
I believe we should investigate these murderers.
Ooh, competition. If there was something I was good at, it was clearing out the competition.
I wish you weren't so enthusiastic about it.
Everybody has their passion.
I'll just sort of hold my data slate up when he says that.
Yes, that is yours.
Just because part of Diogenes' character is Baby Groot.
I just don't speak.
Wait, is Diogenes cute enough for that?
No,
Diogenes is not cute.
but I was talking about the, like you mentioned Hobbit. He holds up the data slate. You know, like when Groot has the badge, and he thinks that Yondu wants him to wear it as like a hat.
My character is actually pretty short.
You're not Baby Groot short. Don't even try.
No, you're
I'm
not.
like 5'2".
Damn. Amanda's more than a full foot taller than you.
Can everyone make me an awareness check with a +10 as you stand in the street?
I'm also gonna reload my hand cannon.
Yay! The first time I pass an awareness.
I'm gonna fate mine.
Ghost hears or sees what is happening.
I love it's like I couldn't roll awareness to save my life, and now I get 5 degrees success on my
Better.
first important roll with it.
You see, well, firstly you hear something. Jenny would hear the very, very faint sounds of a humming. She looks over at Hector, and Hector's now sat on her shoulder. The rest of you hear a flap, flap, and as a shadow is cast over you all, you look up. It's very bright as you look up into the sky, and the sun just skewers your vision enough, but Miss Alexa, Miss Amanda, you see what I've described. Miss Jenny, you see what I've described. Ghost, you see what I've described. You can't see, as you look up, you can't see as the sun squints, makes your eyes squint. You can just make something out. Possibly a bird or some winged beast. Alexa, as you look up, your eyes squint, and you can make out a flying baby.
Cherub!
I'm sorry, what?
It's a cherub! It's literally a flying cyborg baby.
Demons, kill them, kill all.
Does it look like a robot?
I mean,
It
it
looks
has
like a
robotic
cherubim.
parts.
Or is it literally just looks like organic flying baby?
Looks like organic flying baby, but they can be cyberized. It's too high up for you to be able to tell, oh, it's cyberized, or it's...
It's a baby
You
servitor!
can see, like, the body is most definitely baby. The head is definitely baby shaped. You can't see if there's any metal, and it has wings.
Does it have a goatee?
You can't see, it's too far. Like, you couldn't see its facial. Otherwise, you'd be able to see if it was cyberized. I mean, obviously it is cyberized. It's a flying baby, but...
She's just kind of gonna go, what?
Wait, don't they have wings?
Yeah, it does.
Wee! Not quite that, not quite that. And it's not fucking cute. It's not.
No, if you
I'd
actually
adopt
if
it.
you actually Google it and look at the 40k pictures, they're quite hideous up close.
I'd adopt it and then just do torturous
Cherubim?
experiments on it.
Let me check. Warhammer 40k cherubim.
Even the keyboards are actually quite
Ugh.
horrifying looking.
Holy Jesus, mother of Christ! Hell no!
I mean, they're dotted all around the Dark Heresy rulebook.
Has Alexa seen a cherub before?
10,
Have I seen a
20,
cherub before?
30.
It's like one of those manly ass baby things, isn't it?
I imagine that both Alexa and Jenny have seen similar things. Seen as cherubim are used in Ministorum churches, like they have cherubims in the artwork, as cherubims are a religious, creation.
I just looked it up and it's like, they used it in really rarefied noble houses and the ecclesiarchy. So, yeah, I've seen one before. I'm just thinking, what? And is it flying into the Administratum building?
No, it's flying high up in the sky,
Okay.
and it's kind of
Wait.
making as if you stand and watch it for, well, how long would you like to watch it?
I'd
Oh,
probably
what?
just write down was drugged, and then like I'll probably delete that and go, oh, I recognize this isn't drugs.
I'll watch it for a few minutes, probably 2, 3. I've still got to
Okay,
be somewhere.
As you watch it for 2 minutes, you can see it flying around You don't really. It just seems to be flying around.
It's not going where it needs to be. So I'm going to keep going on my journey with Amanda.
Does it look like it's circling us?
How long do you want to spend looking at it? Basically, Alexa and Amanda have stared at this thing for a while and gone, okay, we've got places to be, and you're making
I
your
probably do
way.
it until someone drags me away. I'm very curious about this thing.
Can you even see it?
I'd imagine that you would have pointed it out. Like other people have like looked and other people saw it. I don't know if Diogenes did. No, he didn't. But I imagine someone would have said something and drawn his attention to it.
Okay, so like when, like initially as Alexa's looking at it, she's like, what the hell? Try to figure out what it is. And then she realizes.
Yeah.
She's not intentionally drawing his attention to it though. Because
Would I be able to do an intelligence test to try and find out, like, if I know anything about it? Because I'm quite a...
Amanda and Alexa begin walking down. So you had 2 minutes of watching it, and it seems to be flying around. Do you want to spend longer watching it?
Yes.
How long would you like to spend watching?
Unless someone drags me away, about like 15-ish minutes, maybe.
Okay. So you spend 15 minutes staring at this cherubim, just watching its flight path and watching as it seems to fly around. Ghost and Jenny, would you try and pull him away? Would you watch the cherubim, or would you be like, we need to do something?
Stare at the flying cyber baby a little, and then carry on. I've seen this shit before.
Okay, how long would you spend looking at it? Diogenes has said he'd spend about 15 minutes, which is quite a long time to look at something flying in the sky.
Like maybe a minute, 2 minutes max.
Okay, so we'll say another 2 minutes, and we'll add that on to Alexa's. So you're looking at it for about 4 minutes before you do anything. You watch and it flies, and you see what Alexa saw. It flies to like one side. You think maybe one side of the city, or just like it flies, and then it goes along, and then that's your 4 minutes of it. Doesn't fly very quickly, so it's done almost 2 lines.
Would I be able to compare it to like a servo skull, or
you carry on watching as you see the 2 lines. Jenny, Ghost, what would you be doing now? Where would you be going? Would you be...
See, this is the thing where I kind of want to inquire about the murders to the telepathica, because, we started off on the good ground. But I can't really do this without raising suspicion, because they're going to be like, why is this mechanicus asking about the murders? What is going
Diogenes to ask. Diogenes has reason to ask.
True.
That's his paperwork.
That is true.
Diogenes is also weird enough that he will ask anything.
Diogenes.
If he sees
It's been
a
about
wooden
6
house in
minutes
place.
now, and you see the cherubim fly, and he does 3 corners.
if I find it interesting, I would stare at it for longer.
It is. You're intrigued, and you begin staring for longer. Jenny, you think going to the telepathic would be a good idea. Do you try to break Diogenes' attention?
Yes.
Do you try and...
Yes,
Okay.
I would.
Diogenes, someone's talking at you and it's quite distracting. Make me... No, actually, I'll say that you can withhold. You can stand strong, and this is tech priest is like, Diogenes, we need to go. I want you to do something.
Poking him. If words are not working, it's time for physical intervention.
Another 2 minutes pass.
Poke.
It's made a square.
Poke.
Make me a logic check with a... But then you would need that for... Give me a logic check with a +10.
Who?
This is
Diogenes or-
Diogenes for the minute.
Okay.
The guy who
That's actually quite a
actually
high
paid
target.
attention to the flying baby.
It's not a demon. It's a cyber baby. It's a little servitor.
I didn't say demon, I said
Yeah.
flying baby.
This looks like it could be a search pattern. It's done 4 lines. Poke. You're continuously getting poked in the face as you're... Could this be a search pattern? You'd need to spend longer watching it to be assured, but that's your initial thought.
I'd probably just like wave my hand and then continue to get poked, and like as I'm thinking this, like, oh,
Diogenes. Diogenes.
Meanwhile, Ghost
Stupid
just
meat
stood there.
bag.
I think I'm quite a smart meat bag actually. I say this without looking down.
Look, I get this may be something new for you, but it's just, you know, a flying cyborg baby.
My head's like moving around
Just a
as it moves
flying
around
cyborg
like
baby.
slowly.
I'm Mechanicus, I'm allowed to say such shit.
I'm just a cyborg dumpster baby.
Oh god.
Cyborg
I mean,
dumpster baby,
That
what?
basically describes the cherubim.
It's from Family Guy.
Why are we? We've literally stopped playing. We're just joking around.
Yes, yes we are.
Every session.
It had to be
We-
done.
I was gonna say something sooner, but I was just having too much fun. Listening.
I mean, right now that we've done the session-based Alexa tries to screw up the subtlety somehow.
Yeah, we've had our Alexa screws with subtlety. Jenny does tech shit, or tries to.
Jenny
Diogenes
fired
does...
a round
Jenny
in
didn't do
the
a cat
crowd.
shit.
I can't.
She used street diplomacy.
I'm more impressed by the fact that shit didn't break out as soon as you fired your weapon.
Okay,
than I
okay.
am about the Alexa's lack of subtlety.
More requisite things. More requisite in it. Amanda was mentally face palming. Diogenes was trying to list of statistics, and Ghost tried to kill someone.
Again. Dude, at
Yes.
least assess the situation before you go on a murder spree, okay?
I will give you that enough time has passed, Diogenes, that you see the cherubim start to do a grid pattern search.
I imagine there's like a bunch of peasants that are cleaning up the pyre. You can't waste the kindling, right?
Oh,
The other peasants
the fanatics took that with them. It's hallowed. It's been touched by the minister. It's sanctified in their eyes.
It was also touched by the feet of a witch.
Oh, they scrape those bits off. They're like, no.
Religious
Those guys-
fanaticism.
I feel sorry for
Hooray.
those guys because they're gonna say things stupid and die.
Oh, there's most definitely gonna be a pile of dead bodies by the time we're done with this planet.
Legless dead bodies.
Yes. For a second, I forgot what system we were
So
playing.
you
but
carry
yes.
on poking Diogenes in the face as a look of, crosses his features.
Ah.
What are you so smug about, Diogenes?
It's searching for something. What do you reckon it's searching for?
Oh?
Oh crap! I go to hide.
Oh. Could I roll, I don't know, logic or tech use to...
You can
I mean,
roll logic.
Presumably it would be searching for... someone?
Okay, so, as far as I'm aware, Ghost, Jenny, and Diogenes are still in the courtyard, the Flagstone courtyard area.
And
the
you are
market
standing
district.
there like an idiot, staring at it.
Oh, but now you are,
So-
and now you're thinking to yourself, huh, maybe he's right. Maybe it is
Yes,
doing a search
but
pattern.
it doesn't stop me from voicing the fact that he's been standing here for like half an hour staring at this thing.
Can
15
we
minutes,
just-
actually.
So
I just
the
start
good
pushing
bet
the
is that
Japanese journey.
whoever sent this cherub here is gonna know about him and by extension us.
I'm gonna
He's
start
been
pushing
stood
them.
there for 10 minutes now, because
Still,
it was intervals of 2. You
I'm gonna
would,
start pushing them.
you would notice that the cherubin isn't going, as it is going over your airspace in its search, but it's not actually stopping on you. Donagees wants to
just-
try and stay for his 15 minutes. Does anyone try and pull him away, or generally?
I just had a
now-
devious
I just said
idea.
I pushed them.
I have a devious idea. GM,
Yes.
for how long would the battery on Hector last?
I think it's like 4 hours.
No, Cherub's gonna last for much longer. He's gonna outrun. Never mind then.
Yeah, so Hector classes as a small, a Cherubin classes as a weedy. So they have got more room for battery life, and more components can be added. So I believe it's 2 sizes up from... Oh no, sorry, it's puny for a... So there's 1 size in difference.
Wait, are you telling me that this cherub is smaller than Hector?
No, it's larger. It's larger. It's 1 size
Okay.
up in classification.
Okay.
If I'm correctly, cherubs are bigger and slightly slower. But of course, you don't need to have the server skull like literally sit on your shoulder when it's low on battery. The
Well,
cherub will
because
float.
it's got the body. So basically, the head of a cherubin is a human-sized head. A small human, don't get me wrong. So you can only pack so much technology into that 1 skull. Whereas a cherubin has a body, you can put more in there, so more batteries and such forth.
I was just saying that
We
like,
can put
when-
retractable claws in cherubs.
even when like their batteries are low, you could probably fit the recharge stuff into the cherub. So it'll just float like just above the ground when it's all on power instead of just falls on the ground.
So Ghost has just pushed Donagees as your idea about Hector. You think to your logic self, no, his battery wouldn't last.
I need to upgrade Hector to the cherub.
So when I get pushed, I'm like, what? And I like
have a
snap out of
tiny
it.
medical baby carrying my medical supplies.
I just sort of like, what? And then I like, almost as if I just snapped out of a trance.
Do you say anything to Ghost after he pushes you?
I just look at him and I go, what?
I want my new equipment. Let's go.
You want? Wait, what do you want?
My new equipment. So let's go to where we're supposed to pick it up.
Oh, you want? Oh, okay, sure. And then I like nod and make my way over to you.
Okay. Does anyone carry on watching the cherubin, or do you carry on with go about your business now?
Let's go about our business finally.
Okay. So after 10 minutes, Donagees, you know that anything that was delivered here would be in the administratum building. So you turn round, walk back into
I just
the
start
building,
walking without saying.
and basically you can get everyone's gear. You can sign for it, and you'd note that it's marked under just a normal transfer of materials. It's not allocated as anything special. And you would be able to sign for everyone's equipment, whoever. I think it was only Ghost who managed to requisition anything.
I had like 1 out of what I could get, which was super annoying.
Did you get something? Then
No,
Donagees...
I,
Oh, okay.
no, I didn't. I was saying when I rolled, I had 1 off of getting something.
Ah,
I think Ghost is the only one that managed to get anything.
So Ghost gets his screamer, stunner.
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 It's a best quality stunner that you said is able to last significantly longer than the regular variant.
Yes. Because I can't put the bonus up, so the duration.
I don't need a higher bonus. I just want it to last longer.
Yeah, at this point, like, you can literally only give him penalties.
It's quite easy for you guys to go through it. It takes you some time. It's about 15 minutes pass whilst you're doing this. As we go over to Alexa and Amanda, you've made your way down the street. It's a decent walk. It's about 10 minutes from the Administratum building, but you quickly come to a very grand cathedral. It's a bit small for a cathedral, but it's in that shape and that style, and you can see as you're walking towards it that there are two. They're not sisters of battle, but they are definitely sister sororitas, stood outside the doors in ceremonial robes and with very high quality ceremonial looking weapons by their sides. And you, Alexa, would know that this is very traditional for a non technologically advanced world. For primitive worlds, this is very standard. Given that their two guards at the front door could probably decimate this entire community with their sticks and fucking rocks. And you know that the part of the building, the recruit centre, if you will, the recruiting area, would always be round the side of these buildings, and it works very much like a soup kitchen in a way that they'll bring in youngsters with the offer of food and then give them the teachings of the God Emperor and then slowly induct them further and further into the cult. So it's up to you where you'd like to go first.
First, I think I need to get myself a place to stay, because it would make sense that I immediately register me and my companion. So
Sure. You would know then you'd need to go around the back to the recruiting area. That definitely wouldn't be in the main cathedral area.
yeah, the main cathedral wouldn't be the best place to go. Yeah, I'm sororitas. I'm here to help.
Yeah. So you make your way around the back, and you see that there are actually children lining the wall of the recruiting area. A lot of young girls sit there waiting. As you come around the corner, there's almost an excited tension in the air, and you can hear children. Oh, I wonder if they'll take me. Oh, if the God Emperor chooses me, then I'll get out of here. I'll do better. And as you make your way down, there's look, there's one of them. She made it. She got. Look. You see little girls just stunned as you walk down in your sister sororitas get up. You make your way into the give me an awareness test as you're making your way down, because to the side it's a good 15 foot of flagstones. There's another side. Just do it flat for the minute. Amanda, you can do this as well if you like.
Yeah, because I think I was following her, so.
I keep having moments of like Discord cutting in and out, and while I'm getting the conversation, I'm just worrying for miss.
I passed again!
But the same role, I think.
Yes. Yeah, you did roll. It has come up. Alexa, you look along at the young girls waiting, and it kind of fills your heart with a bit of pride that there are so many waiting, to join the ranks, and it gives you, you choke, you get a little moment of remembering your own time when you were very much in a similar situation, and it distracts you a little bit from the surrounding area. Amanda, as you see the children, you're touched by how many little souls are here trying to fight for a better life, but you look around more, and you can see that there's 30 to 25 foot of flagstones walkway before the wall of this recruiting area, and it's again crafted amazingly, like the rest of the building. But as you look to the sides, you see the dingy huts, you see the squalor. The nicer buildings have definitely left this area round the back. There were nice buildings at the front, but round the back, and you look further down, it does get more and more shanty-ish as you look over. And you can definitely see faces peering with almost resentment, There's a lot of young boys looking out, and a lot of old men, and...
Uh-oh.
Probably should have stopped on that one. A lot of angry
Uh-oh.
peasants who look as if it's almost it's a resentment more of why won't they take us? Why weren't we good enough? Or that kind of.
'Cause it's a girls' club. Gee.
Don't ask me what the old man was thinking.
I mean, Adeptus Sororitas is a fucking girls' club at the end of the day.
He doesn't care. You don't know his sexual orientation. Be more respectful.
He's annoyed. The old man's annoyed that they get all the boys.
Let's just... I'm officially changing tracks in this conversation. The Omnissiah has spoken.
Okay, the Omnissiah speaks through me. Logic rules. You make your way into the rather finely crafted arches that lead you into the recruiting hall. As the doors open and close for children, as there's a buzzer that goes off to know that the door's been unlocked, you go up and stand at the door and peer in. A woman at the reception desk sees you standing there and pushes the button. You hear a zzz, and you feel the door give as you place your hand gently on it. It opens and you step in. In this building, you would see that it's almost like a soup kitchen kind of layout in this entrance hall. There are lots of young girls who are having a meal, sat down, and there's a sister, there's a scribe. I can't remember the exact terminology for them. There's a scribe there who is telling stories of the God Emperor and his children and the holy saints, and you can just see this wonderment in the children's eyes. And it might be for the stories, it might be for the protective feeling in this building, or it could be because of the full belly. You're not quite sure before a woman draws your attention, the woman who lets you in. How may I help you, sister?
I'm Lexicello of... Damn, I forgot what group I was part of, our character. Also of the Adeptus Sororitas like you, and me and my friend here is a liaison from the Astra Militarum, come here to show that not just to help show our allies and how we can work together. After all, while we may teach the younger ones how to fight alongside their sisters, we need to show them that our friends in the not so devoted guard can at least stand alongside them, if not, or behind them if the need be.
Oh, very well. Can I see your papers, please?
A big ass smirk comes on my face, and I just hold out the paper.
You're not
I
with them,
can't-
Diogenes.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Different.
Party split a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to roll something? Because I cut
No.
out.
You just need to hand over your papers, the one that
Okay.
you were given.
Yeah, hand it over.
Oh, but this is quite odd. We had no information that you would be coming. She is on a cognite unit, and she is looking through different files. When were you? When were you sent out exactly?
Give me a second, character. My brain's frozen.
So you would know, because you have travelled the system for quite some time, that the world that you came from is at the very least 2 months travel. At the very least, with good warp streams.
I've been traveling for 2 months. The warp's not been the most stable.
Oh well, well, your paperwork does seem to be in order. Let me check something for one moment, and we will. Well, I can't see anything wrong with your paperwork, and unfortunately, given the world that we're on, we do get left behind with updates. However, I see no reason to deny you access. You have all the correct paperwork, and you're a member of the Sisterhood. I guess we were just not informed. These things do happen on. She kind of like hides her mouth so like none of the children can see. These backwards worlds have a tendency to be left out of the loop sometimes.
It's fine. I know what it's like. After all, I'm from a similar background as these little ones. Warms my heart to see so many devoted young faces.
I like the fact that she just said these backwater peasants, and you're like, no, it's fine.
She did say places, so she meant the world's a backwater world. But now that I've heard it out loud, it definitely does.
Yeah, it's like I'm attempting to have it be that in polite bitch talk, there's just Alexa being that unfailingly polite. I know what you're doing. I'm not rising to it.
Well, no, it's more of like, so feudal worlds will get left out of reports. It's not.
I know that.
Feudal worlds, nobody cares as long as the tide flows.
So there are, the reports just don't get passed along. So that's basically what she thinks. But yeah, she does also. She's clearly not from this world. Well, I don't see any problem why you can't do your duties. We're always happy to have more inspiring personnel around. It raises morale and gives the children something to aim for. And as you said, you're from a world like this. I suppose you could speak more to their hearts. But yes, this world is quite abundant in personnel to she kind of gestures to the full soup room to pick from.
As I was walking through town, there seemed to be a large crowd gathering. What was going? There's something been going on this planet.
Oh yes, I believe Minister Quintilius captured one of the witches from within the town. She was given refuge within the Telepathica, but fortunately she was caught. But hostilities between our two groups have been rising for some time now. I'm with Father Quintilius on this matter.
Witches? They've not been sent to the black ships?
No, they are rounded up, and the black ships come and take their tithe and take them away. But you can't trust witches. They hide themselves within their own covenants. And
Just Quintilius isn't the psychic. Quintilius is the father. I thought it was the
Yeah,
other way
he's
around.
the big priest guy.
yes,
Gotcha.
Quintilius is the
Basically, the planetary pope.
The guy that you just called out in the middle of a crowd.
Oh, it's fine. because in some regards, it's actually a good sign. 'Cause it's bad that it shows that there's a bit of a debate between inside the ecclesiarchy, but at the same time, it shows to the people who are like, the ecclesiarchy's too harsh. There are moderates. And considering I've not gone, burn the witches, or don't burn the witches, I've gone, burn the heretics, send the witches to the black ships.
More along the lines that he might cause problem for us and not give us
Of
as
course
much
he
access.
is.
Because you publicly went after him. Against him, actually.
Yeah, if I went after him, I'd be dead.
So, you know, totally.
Also, I haven't actually broken subtlety. They got no character. They got no reason to think the Inquisition present. That's
I
what
know.
subtlety actually is.
Thing is, this is not good for us.
Not good for me. Nobody gives a shit about you.
Look, so long as they don't know we're Inquisition, we can.
Yeah, I can die and there's no trouble.
Yeah. So long as there's no evidence who you were, really.
I don't have any.
Your flamer has a bar number on it that was given to you by the your background, so it can be traced, but they'd have to do.
But
a lot
it'll
of
get
digging
traced to the
that.
sororitas. So fairly said, I just look like a really out of place sororitas. The only thing that's out of place is an auto pistol, which can just be written up as I killed a ganger and kept it.
So but by all means, did you wish to seek lodgings with us? You can seek lodgings yourself. By all means, it's very Spartan here.
The familiar old comforts of a place just like home are exactly what the Emperor wishes me to have.
We can arrange that. That's perfectly fine. She kind of types away in her cogite unit, and you're from a place like this. You said, or you were joined a sisterhood through a place like this.
Yes, a familiar place, a place much similar to this. The layout's not quite the same, but it should be similar enough.
Brilliant then. Well, your sleeping chambers will be, and she gives you a number, 47A. And she tells you that they're shared rooms. All the rooms are shared for these accommodations. You would know where they are because these buildings are pretty much standard template constructs. You know, they're all copies of, they don't change the plans for these types of buildings.
The huts, on the other hand, they'll be a little bit different. That's because they're just made out of stone rocks.
Yeah, peasantry built. Like you look around at the architecture of this building, and it was definitely imperial made, but clearly when it was made, it was a case of we don't need to make it any bigger. This is big enough for the peasantry, and then the administrorum came in and went, "My dick's bigger than yours, pal," and put the behemoth of a building down. But then it works as a spaceport, so it needs to be big. But sorry, I went off on a diatribe. You know your way around these buildings, basically.
Yeah.
So you can show Miss Amanda where you'll be staying, and is there anything that you'd like to do here? You will be given a rota that they'd like you to basically do stuff. So there will be a few hours throughout the day that you'll have to inspire the kids, talk to the kids, and do things that you would be expected to do if you were to do your job here.
Yeah, the stuff that I knew I was signing up to do when I made my disguise.
Yeah.
Since I was a sergeant, if I am assigned to any classes to do anything, I'm probably just gonna draw into
You're
some
my
of the
assistant.
children.
By all means, you'll probably go
if
through.
anything is left for me, I'll probably drill battle drills into the children.
There probably is. Well, no, there definitely is an area, a time in the day when you'll see that the kids do basic fitness and basic combat, getting them ready so they can see who's you're a scribe, you're no good at the physical, but you're quite smart. You're brute, you go into the authorities, yep, go and kill the enemies of the empire, of the Imperium.
You'd had chocolates. It's that you shouldn't have, so you should be joining the next group.
Yeah. So we will move away from your group for a moment because you have lodgings for the minute. Actually, Jazina, are you okay going on, or should we try and aim for the hour? Oh, he's gone.
Also, I just realised, looking at my character, that I could either be just standard Sororitas, it'd be really a really bad fit for it, but I could be Orders Familius.
So we'll go to Diogenes. Diogenes, as you're in the Administratum, the Administratum building, you note that your paperwork does state that you're investigating here. So, what would you like to do after you collect the group's, ghost's gear?
That's quite difficult.
It is getting a bit late, and you probably should look for lodgings.
Would that be provided to me by my associates?
You can get lodgings at the in the building that you're in, but you've got to kind of log in.
I don't have any money, do I? So I can't just go to another lodging.
Well, you've only, because you haven't been resupplied by the Inquisition, you've only got the money that you had left over. So you don't, and that's not the same currency of the world either. So no.
Yeah, there might be people who take guilt, but they'll literally just be in the spaceport selling stuff that's overpriced.
Yeah, like to find someone on this world who has that money is just non-existent, and you don't have enough to where someone would be like, oh yeah, let's. Admittedly, you guys have got some cheap glow sticks, so you probably could barter. I
got good glow sticks if I'm correctly.
Well, I know you guys got some cheap glow sticks, and get rid of the
I
cheap
have
stuff
three
first.
cheap, 3 good ones.
Or you can do what Alexa did and get accommodation in the building that you're in, but you will have to do some paperwork, and some, there will be hours in the day that are devoted to that.
Well, hours for some people, but not quite for Diogenes.
Hours for Diogenes.
Would it?
Have you not seen Administratum paperwork? The only thing that grows faster than it is the Book of Justice.
And remember, you're dealing with a world that uses paper and parchment, and you're using cognate units. So every time they get sent paperwork saying, "Oh, we've got this much grain," you then have to type it out.
Lovely.
And that's if the peasantry know how to write.
Oh, I'm thinking lords here. I'm thinking people.
Of course, the peasantry don't know how to write.
Yeah, but you know how lazy lords are. They'll just get the peasant to write it all down for them.
Diogenes probably gets the paper and goes like, is this the good paper or is this the shitty paper?
But would you say it is the best?
Always
paper?
the shitty paper.
What does this stuff smell like? Ass. It's the shitty paper.
Recycled multiple times.
I just pause and then I go ass, and then I just pause again.
So where
and
would
I
you
just
like
look
to
very
stay?
sad.
Where would you like to stay? You could probably
the one
trade.
place I can.
You probably could trade to stay somewhere else. Technically, you could stay in your ship, but it would look very suspicious. Or you can stay in the Administorum building, administratum building, but you'd have to do a few hours of work like the other guys do.
I'd be the Stratum then.
Which one?
The administratum building.
Yep. Okay. So as you go and collect the package for Ghost, and you pass it on to him, you got.
Are there any Mechanicus quarters?
No,
I
your
could bunk in?
paperwork is tied to Diogenes. Same with Ghost.
Oh, okay.
You three are tied to
Okay,
him. So Diogenes, you know where the reception desk is, where you can get logged in, and they'll give you a lodgings basically. And you see a man sat there on a Cognite unit, typing away. Can I help you, citizen? Excuse me, fellow member. How can I help you today?
I'd probably just hand over my paperwork and go, I need a lodging.
He takes the paperwork away from you, and quickly begins typing and speaking and looking over the data slate all at the same time. I do hate it when formalities get in the way of work. It's nice to see someone who thinks similarly. So, we have no record of you being sent to this world. Let me do a check quickly.
I just sort of raise an eyebrow and go, are you understaffed? Surely
well-
this should have been processed by now. It's been a few... And then I like pause and think, I wonder how long it was that I was sent.
It seems to...
Am I present with Diogenes right now?
Yes, you are. So, as it is at the moment, Diogenes is at the front desk. Jenny is in the building near him, as is Ghost. Because these will... Essentially, your paperwork ties you to him. So his paperwork also gives you your reason for being around. Well, it is odd that we wouldn't be informed. I can understand others not, but you would at least think that they would. Your paperwork is in order, but he is furiously typing on his Cognite unit. But then we are in the arse end of nowhere. I mean, God Emperor forgive. And it wasn't meant to be posted here, you know. I suppose not your... Well, anyone who can help us do... He hands you back your well, not your data slate, your parchment, the document that you forged yourself. He hands it back to you. Your paperwork's in order, so let's just call it an error in someone somewhere else is doing. By all means, we have got a couple of Cognite units that aren't functioning as well as they should, so it would make sense that you would bring a Mechanicus with you. The guard, I think some of the stories about just showed them that you're administratum, and the peasants basically, they run. Fire a las weapon at them and they shit themselves. It's hilarious. Sorry, I digress. Back to work.
I just sort of sigh and I'm like, as if he's wasting my time.
As he says that, as you sigh, he's like, so we can get you lodgings for all three of you. You know where lodgings will be. You'll be at 24 Delta.
I start walking instantly, as if I already know.
Your workstation is floor 5. As you walk further away, section B. Brother Mechanicus. He looks over, and unfortunately, I don't have any data slates available. Could I transfer? Do you have one that I can transfer your work roster?
I do indeed. I possess a personal data slate upon which you can store the information.
Excellent.
I must say, I find your remark about the peasantry quite humorous.
It's funny when it happens. For brevity's sake, he plugs a USB in and plugs it into his Cognite. I don't know how they transfer it. And you'd quickly notice that there's a new file. and when you click on it, it basically tells you the rooms where Cognite units have been malfunctioning. If you follow, he looks at his Cognite. Diogenes, did you put your real name on your paperwork, or did you have an alias?
I remember now. I put my Diogenes, but instead of putting Cognitius, I put Mikion.
Okay. If you follow Diogenes, he will show you to your sleeping area. They're all combined. Well, yours is next to his for brevity. You there, guard. Yes, you. We'll put you to work outside. You can at least scare off some of the peasants or something. Your work route will be. He looks at the Cognite. Call it 6 in the morning till. We'll call it 2 in the afternoon, for now. Should keep the low lifes at night away. Ghost, he was saying that looking straight at you.
I know.
Do you respond?
I nod.
He doesn't notice. He's already on his Cognite again. Follow Diogenes. He'll show you where you're sleeping. You're sharing a room. You're sharing a room
probably have
with
to run
him
to catch up to me.
for keep the men together and all that.
Affirmative.
Do you want to catch up to me, or do you just try and
I
find me?
catch it to you quite easily.
He's probably got like nearly double the agility you've got.
Yeah, but I started walking like as soon as like he gave me my room number, and then like I was walking as he told me in my workstation.
It's quite a big hall. It's quite a grand area, so he can see which way you're going.
Fair play.
So that is where we will end the episode off. You guys will have a couple of hours in the next episode to explore the area, and then the next morning you'll obviously do your work routines, and then go have the afternoon to do more exploring or questioning or whatever you want to do.
Okay.
But yes, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed.
End of session stat. I think I timed it correctly. We spent half an hour shit talking.
Probably.
Perfect.
Probably. Just that right amount.
Only.
You know.
That's about the rough estimate that I started timing it, so.
I hope to see you all in the next episode. And as always, guys,
So there.
take care of yourselves, and bye bye for now.